Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another episode of A Star Wars Journey with Ashley and Brandi. As you can see, it's just me, actually, for now, just because we had a little, or Brandi had a little incident involving her cat. Her cat escaped the house, and you know how it is if you've ever had a cat. So first things first. So we were lucky, though, tonight because we actually had a very special guest that was going to be joining us tonight anyway. And I just sort of wanted to build her up a little bit before I introduce you to her. But you might recognize her. She's been on a few of our podcasts in the past, and she's a very dear friend of ours. We all go way back. I think it's got to be like 8 years or something now. We all met on another show years ago, and we found we had other things in common with other shows. And so we all go way back. So I'd really like you to introduce you guys to our very good friend, Tiffany. Hi, Tiff. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. You know what? I'm actually having a hard time hearing you. Try taking your mic and...
Hold on. How's that? Is that a little bit better?
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Perfect.
Sounds good. Okay, so we don't have anybody watching us at the moment because normally we start at 6 o'clock, but I got a birthday party to go to after this, so oh well. Funny how these things work out. So Brandi is not here, which is sad because we all like to, talk together about this stuff.
No,
But
you need to get home. Okay, I'm just saying.
what's that?
Safely.
Yes,
Get home
yes.
safely.
All the good vibes and prayers to Blanche that she gets home safely. Yes. I've been there. As I was telling you guys, I had a cat. She was my favorite cat, Skittles, and she escaped and was gone for 2 weeks. And I thought, that's it. I'm never going to see her again. So, yeah, that was a nightmare. But obviously, she did come back. So yeah, we hope Blanche comes back, Brandi. So yeah, Brandi normally covers the news, so we don't have too much news to talk about, but we can at least talk about what you tagged us in on Facebook, that the Obi-Wan dates have been released. It looks like May 25th all the way to the end of June. So that's exciting.
It is very exciting. I thought they kind of missed an opportunity with May the 4th being just shortly before. They have to have something planned that they didn't want to start it on that date.
Yeah, there's got to be something. Maybe Andor, because Andor is going to be the new big show as well. And I haven't seen a release date for that. Have you?
No, I haven't seen anything about that lately.
Okay. So yeah, we don't know. I'm sure, there'll be a surprise coming up. But so yeah, at least we've got something to sustain us through the month of June. So I'm grateful for that. I don't know. I don't know how you liked Bad Batch, but I'm anxious to see season 2 of Bad Batch.
I'm very excited for it. I can't wait.
Same.
And actually going back and rewatching it, just knowing that it's going to be coming out here soon, and I want to be caught up for it.
Same. I'm going to do the same thing. So, okay, so that's that for, well, no, actually there was one more thing. So I don't know if I want to get into, yeah, let's talk about it, and then we will revisit that conversation as we talk about the Book of Boba Fett. But, Rosario Dawson was a little disappointed with the finale. Can you guess why?
I don't know. Why would she be disappointed?
Right? I know. I personally loved it. There's a couple things that I could nitpick as far as, if I really wanted to be picky. But I'm not really going to, because there was too much stuff that happened that I loved, So actually the reason why she was upset actually had to do with what happened to Cad Bane.
Oh, okay.
So she actually thought that her and Bane were going to be able to go at it at some point in the future. And so now that he is dead, maybe that's out of the question. So
because she didn't get to ride the Rancor.
Right? I know, that would have been cool. No, that whole Rancor scene with Boba, that was perfect. So nope, that was perfect. But yeah, so we'll revisit this in a little bit. Definitely would love to kind of dive in. So we'll save the finale for for last. Save the best for last. So this week we were covering episodes 3 and 4 of season 2 of The Mandalorian. I was so stupid. I thought episode 4 was the Jedi, and so I was thinking, oh, this is so perfect. We get to watch the episode with Ahsoka. But no, that's episode 5, and we'll have to save that for next week. But for this week, we meet Bo-Katan, who I had a hard time with her, actually. And I remember you sort of bringing a different perspective to her character the last time that we talked about her that I really appreciated. Like, she just has this, I don't even know how to describe it, just like this almost entitlement attitude, towards the Darksaber, towards like she's going to be the ruler of Mandalore. And I'm just like, who do you think you are?
I know. And, with the Darksaber itself, I really want to know how she lost it. That's the most important. What is the story? You know what I mean? How did she lose? And maybe I missed it at some point. They might have mentioned it, but I don't remember them ever saying anything.
No, they have not covered that.
So,
and I think that oh gosh, what's her name? The one that plays Fennec Shan. Is it Ming Na Wen? Is that her name?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Remember, she slipped and said, "Congratulations, Katie Sackhoff, on your new series, Bo-Katan." So I have a feeling that will be explored. Obviously, she lost it to Moff Gideon at some point. Mm-hmm. So that will be exciting to see how that all unfolded. Yeah. And, the armor alluded a little bit to the fact that Bo-Katan lost it because of, the fact that she didn't earn it in battle. Mm-hmm. And I think that happened on the night of 1,000 Tears during the Great Purge.
The Great Purge, yeah.
Yeah. So so there's hints that they're going to explore that.
I'd love it. I would be really interested to see how that all played out. How she was defending herself about, no, this armor has been in my family for generations. Like,
yes,
my family armor. So,
yep.
I'm sure that she sees the Darksaber as an extension of that in some way, shape, or form. So,
yeah, that's actually a really good point. And I forget, like, this is the second time now in this season that Din has seen someone wearing Mandalorian armor removing their helmet and just their reaction, So, we got Big Lovin' in the house. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. It's been kind of a crazy day overall, but then, like, 30 minutes ago, Brandi messages us and she goes, "My cat got out, so now I can't do it. Tiffany's gonna have to stand in." And I'm like, well, thank goodness for that. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here talking to myself. But anyways, and Luna Girl is here. So
hey,
this is Tiffany, y'all. So yes, that confrontation that she has with Din right off the get-go, like, where did you get that armor? That you're not a real Mandalorian. I agree. I love how she responded to that.
Yeah, she wrecked his entire world. I mean, it was just like, wait,
yes,
people now. This is not the way. We are way off the way.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know. I enjoy seeing, I really enjoyed the fact that he has now been confronted with the fact that he's been raised by, like, a religious cult, basically. Mm-hmm. And that he's now being introduced to others of his kind that are not exactly, they don't adhere to the way. Mm-hmm. And so I was just excited that this dynamic was introduced into the narrative, and I want to see that get explored more. So, we got Dragon Buddy too. Hi, guys. So happy for you guys to be joining us on this lovely Friday evening. How's your days been? Mine's been crazy. And Brandi's too. And I'm sure Tiffany. Yeah.
This has been crazy. It's been
It has. So. Yeah. I don't know how you do it.
I was really looking forward to this evening. So I was definitely able to push through. So
Good. It gives us something to look forward to, doesn't it?
Listen, I went back. It's been since August.
Yeah, same.
So that's how long since I've been here. So
that's true. It's been a long time. I don't want to talk about it, but glad you were alive, though. Oh, nope. No questions, but thank you. Thank you, Dragon Buddy. Okay, so if you guys are just joining us now, so we watched season 2, episode 3 of The Mandalorian. So we're talking about the heiress where we meet Bo-Katan. And we're just talking about him meeting her for the first time and realizing that he's been, a child of the Watch, a cult, and how he's dealing with all of that. Um, there's a quote that Bo-Katan says in this episode that really resonated with me, and I think it's something that we're going to hear again in the future. And she says, "Mandalorians are stronger when we fight together."
Mm-hmm.
And I really got chills hearing that because I just think that's something that's going to be echoed in the future. And there's also something I don't have too much to say about this episode. I love it. It's Bryce Dallas Howard, again directing. I just love her anytime she's directing. But there was a scene in the behind the scenes talk of this episode where it's Favreau, and I think he's talking to Bryce Dallas Howard and maybe Filoni as well. Mm-hmm. And this is a really kind of minuscule detail, but he was talking about how, when they were taking over the ship, mm-hmm. The Empire ship, it was really important to show that Din was always separated from the rest of the group. Mm-hmm. And how they always move together in unison as one, and he would always be falling behind, and you see that almost in every shot. He's always lagging behind. Mm-hmm. And there's there's two reasons for this, and there's symbolism with it. One, that the obvious is that I think he's used to working alone, and these three are used to working together, so that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But it also, I think, is almost metaphorical for the fact that he is different from them in terms to his creed and what he believes a real Mandalorian is, and and then you've got them and how effective they are, even just the three of them, working together. Mm-hmm. So, we got Hectorlorian in the house. What's up? Thank you for joining us tonight. So, yeah, big love, and as you said, he's a lone wolf. So I just, it's a random thing to mention in terms of direction and blocking and all of that with the scene, but it's just shows you the level of detail that Favreau, Filoni, and the directors go through when they're mapping out these scenes, and it's just one of those things that I really appreciate.
Well, and it's such a breath of fresh air when you get that kind of detail, that kind of focus, over not just, episodes and seasons, but series. Let's think of how many times that they have brought stuff together. Mm-hmm. Dave and John.
Yeah,
I have watched a lot of TV. Let's be honest here.
Right.
And our most despised word is retcon.
Yes, that's right. So, Brandi, Tiffany, and I'm going to just go out on a limb here, Tiffany, and say that you probably still suffer a little bit of PTSD from the show that shall not be named, yes. Right? Yes. So we have trust issues when it comes to showrunners mm-hmm. and writers in general. But Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have just completely won us over. I always was a little bit skeptical, in the background, but just the finale, I think, did it for me, I trust these guys implicitly with their decisions, with everything. They know what they're doing. And again, that level of detail, they care that much.
Right.
Those jerks that were on that other show really didn't seem to care at all. In fact, it was almost like they took enjoyment out of upsetting us,
We thought that they were just taking a dart and just throwing it at the wall at a big bunch of options to choose from. And that's not what we get here. We do actually get them planning ahead, planting seeds, mm-hmm. really understanding not only the characters that they're working with, but also the audience that they're playing to. So, and what they want to see, and what, sometimes it's okay that people know what's going to happen because you've built that up.
You build it up. That's all part of the process. It's all part of the experience. That's why there's a payoff at the end. I mean, it's cool to have twists, but not if it's going to completely erase what's been established. Mm-hmm. And yeah, retconning, that's the biggest sin in writing. Don't do it, And so yeah, I just kind of wanted to cover that because I really don't have too many other notes for this episode. What's that?
Enjoy when he goes to leave Grogu with the two Lizzie? And he goes, we talked about this. You know it.
Mind your manners. Be respectful. Mind your manners. You know what I'm talking about.
Please don't eat any more of the alien eggs. Okay, let's just.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's one of the things that I also just love that Favreau does with Grogu and Din is that he constantly sprinkles, these little classic like parent-child, moments. Like when Grogu's trying to eat his chowder and he says, "Don't play with your food," and he's dropping him off at the babysitters, and like I love seeing that kind of thing. And it almost makes me wonder, like, I don't know if this happened like serendipitously or if this was maybe planned by Favreau, but don't you think it's a little interesting that, you got this parent-child relationship in this current Star Wars show when a majority of the people that love Star Wars are all older people that grew up with it, and they all have children of their own, so it's almost like they're getting to watch this family drama unfold, and they have kids, and it just makes it almost more relatable in a sense.
I think it is more relatable for a lot of us that have grown up with it, got to see it, and now we're looking and bringing a new generation into it.
Yes.
Hey, see what mom just said. Look,
right? Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's perfect because it's it incorporates all the stuff that we've always known and loved about Star Wars, but it's introducing that new generation, and Grogu is so perfect for that. My daughter is in love with him. She's got like 5 Grogus. So I'm just going to read some comments here. Oh, Luna girl, thank you so much about Brandi's cat. Really, I've been kind of keeping my eye on the messenger, and I haven't heard from her yet, but yeah, we're hoping that Brandi's cat's okay. So we've got Dragon Buddy. It is a sin. Here, I'll just share your quote here, Dragon Buddy. It's an easy way to get your own means, and that's cheating. For retconning, is that what you were talking about? Yeah, I agree completely. So let's see here. So we can move on to the siege then, if you're ready for that. So, this is the one. So that opening scene when Din has Grogu in that little, I don't even know what you call it, that compartment, and he's trying to get him to like rewire parts of the ship. Just again, another classic like father-son moment. Mm-hmm. Like how many dads have been there, right?
Yeah, the other left. Like
right. I mean, I watched that last night with my husband. I think we rewatched it like 3 times because it's so funny. And again, I just marvel at the patience. Mm-hmm. How is Din so patient? Where can I get that? How can I?
And when you think about it, okay, when the Death Watch, because that's what it was, when they found foundlings, did they have those type of attachments to other foundlings, or was it brought to a specific area that they were raised to follow the creed? Like, I'd be real interested to see how that works out. You know what I mean? Is this just a special thing between Din and Grogu, or is this how they took on foundlings? You know what I mean? That they took them under their wings, trying to train them.
I guess maybe I'm biased, but I feel like there's just something special with Din and Grogu, because even like if you look at the armorer, like the way that she handles herself, and even Paz Vizsla, they still seem kind of cold. I never see them getting attached to anybody. It's almost Jedi-like in their own way, Yeah. But no, that was something, again, we talked about this last week, Brandi and I, how, she pointed that out. The armor pointed out that Jedi can't have any attachments, but Din was right up there saying, well, that's the opposite of our creed. Loyalty and solidarity are the way. Mm-hmm. Which is true. They're all loyal to each other, but having that kind of emotional attachment, I think they maybe try to keep at bay a little bit. But yeah, I would love to see that explored as well. So yeah, this episode we got to see Grief Karga again and Cara again, which made my heart sore because I love Cara. And Grogu going to school and eating blue cookies. That was perfect.
Stealing blue cookies.
Oh, stealing blue cookies. Yes, that's true. But you know what? That kid deserved it because he wasn't sharing. His mom didn't teach him about sharing, and he asked nicely. So, it's his fault.
Yeah, honestly, I will give him that. But in the same instance, it's like, I taught my kids, you don't always have to share. It's okay to say no. And that's probably his favorite cookie.
Right? I mean, they look good. I wanted one. So that was cool. I'm really anxious just to kind of talk about the lab scene because, it really alludes to events that, might have had an effect on the sequels. And I know we don't like to talk about the sequels, but it is, confirmed that Favreau and Filoni are writing towards the sequels. And so I can't help but think that those creatures that were in the lab, it looked just like Snoke.
Yeah, I was going to say that looked
so much like Snoke.
Yeah.
And it was creepy. And even Din was looking at it and he's like, something doesn't feel right. I don't like this. It's like, yeah, I don't either. It's creepy. And then that hologram message from Dr. Pershing talking about how, he's run out of sample blood, or I forget exactly what he said, but basically alluding that he needed Grogu back in order to continue his experimentation. So that's when you really start to feel the intensity of, oh no, they're still hunting him,
And driving that, you know what I mean? Like, because it's not Moff Gideon, let's be honest here. I think he's just a pawn, but someone else is driving that program.
Yep. Some may have speculated that it could be Palpatine. For all we know, Palpatine is alive at this. Well, he is alive because he's alive in the sequels. So
somehow he's returned.
Somehow, yeah. And we're going to talk about characters that just never really die in Star Wars. We're going to get to that in a second.
Well, you got a chance to get Cad Bane back, so it's okay. Put him in the back.
Yes, I really believe that he's not dead. I'd love to hear everybody else's thoughts on that. But I love the end of this episode with Din in the middle of a dogfight, and he's got Grogu strapped in the back eating his cookies and just having the time of his life. And then, puking his guts out and him trying to clean it up as he's flying the plane. I just love that whole scene. It's adorable.
It's adorable because I've been there.
Huh?
I've been there with my own kids in the back seat. We're just going along. I'm saying, yay.
Yep. Yeah, and then like you're driving your car and you're like trying to clean them up. I mean, it's, again, just perfect. Those perfect little moments sprinkled about throughout all these episodes of Din trying to be a single dad. It's just great. So yeah, Tiffany, I was just going to ask you, the mother of two boys, are you at all envious of the, Din's capacity to multitask, while taking care of Grogu? I mean, this guy is like fighting battles and flying ships and still taking care. I mean, how does he do it? And he stays calm and he's, doesn't lose his temper. I envy the dude.
Not really.
What's that?
At all.
No, not really. You don't want to be in the middle of a fight with stormtroopers.
Grocery shop with two.
Yeah.
We're grown. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I have little ones. I've got,
Yeah, yours are older.
Yeah. So I can barely grocery shop, so I can't imagine toting little dude around and trying to fight a battle. Not realistic.
He just makes it look so easy.
No. That's right. That's what our fun times are here for.
That's right. So, Dragon Buddy, before Ka, Boba put Cad in the tank. Oh, really? That's interesting. Okay. Oh, multiverse. Yeah, Christian Fandom Geek just mentioned the multiverse and World Between Worlds. We are all up on that. I know Brandi is hardcore. She's all into the World Between Worlds. So,
don't get us wrong. We do enjoy the sequels.
Just that one, though, we really like, that everybody hates.
Yeah,
and we're not sorry.
And I still have not watched the last one because I can't bring myself to do it.
I've still only seen it once.
Yeah.
So, and that was in the theater, and we're gonna have to watch it again for the pod. So we're gonna go all the way. We're dedicated.
I'll do it with you.
Will you? Okay.
One for the
just so you know, Brandi watched it, and she actually didn't mind it the second time around. In fact, I think she's seen it 3 times now, if I'm not mistaken. So
give it a try.
Yeah, give it a try. So, okay, anything that you want to add to this episode, Tiffany, before we get into the Book of Boba Fett finale?
I enjoyed the episode, the different interactions with all the characters. Again, getting to see all of our familiar friends. the humor. It was a lot of fun. So it was definitely a good episode, especially following the one before it with all the Mandalorians and that, that being thrown at us. So,
Right. Awesome. Yep, I agree. So, okay, let's get into the In the Name of Honor, the Boba Fett finale. Oh my gosh, this had everything. It had everything that I wanted and more.
I was so happy with it. And I just sat there and actually enjoyed it the first time and then had to go back and actually pay attention to the things that were going on and,
yep,
get that more details that I might have missed the first time around because I'm so
exactly. I think I've lost count of how many times I've seen it. It's like the only thing I want to watch right now. It's like, what do you want to watch tonight? I want to watch the Boba Fett finale again.
Like everybody in the chat agrees that they all.
Everyone agrees. Everyone loved it. Oh yeah, good. Because I'm seeing some people out there are still trying to find stuff to complain about, and I get it. The spinning and the shooting, yeah, that gets a little ridiculous, especially that one. But I don't know if you saw, I made a comment on one of the Facebook pages, and it had a little GIF of Din spinning and shooting a pike with his blaster, and I'm like, but it looks so cool when Din does it.
Right.
It's for entertainment. Just get over it, people.
Who would like a knee gun? Thank you very much. Be able to shoot people coming right off my knee. That would be great.
Right? That would be so cool. So, yeah. So I love this episode from start to finish. My heart just like stopped when I saw the X-Wing. I immediately knew it was Grogu. I just immediately knew it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no effing way. So I just thought it was kind of funny though that Luke didn't show up because you probably thought, oh hell no, they're going to Tatooine. I ain't ever going back there again.
Never going back. But I like R2 giving sass, like, all right, where is he? What is he? What's going on? Where?
Right? I'm in a hurry. And then Peely had to put him in his place. I love that. I call her Aunt Peely because that's basically his aunt, I think.
I agree.
Yep. And Grogu wearing the armor. I'm so glad that they showed us that right away because it just confirmed. Oh yeah, he chose it. Oh my gosh.
He's like, and I'm like, yes.
I was like, I'm not even kidding, guys. It's been a really rough week for me, like on a personal level. So I was like emotional from the beginning, like watching this, but I sobbed legit when I saw that chainmail shirt. I was like, oh, this is so great. This is better than any antidepressant out there.
Well, I love that picture you sent. Well, it's more like a cartoon about how Grogu's like looking at Luke like, wait a second, you want me to abandon the guy who has basically been like my pseudo dad for this weird religion that I don't even know you, I don't even know the person you're talking about. And yeah, no, that's all right. Thanks. Give me my chainmail. We're good.
Yeah. No, if we break down exactly what that ultimatum was, and you look at the history that Grogu has with the Jedi, like up to that point, it was extremely dark, and even I don't think helping him go back in time to relive Order 66 did Luke any favors because that was such a traumatic event, that resulted in decades of him living in darkness and alone. And here comes along Din, saves his life, shows him the galaxy, has a real loving relationship with him. And oh yeah, you have to give that up and go back to this life of isolation and, you can never see him again.
Right. And we've discussed it multiple times that there is no absolutes. The attachment that he had that Anakin, well, when he was dying, when he had the attachment to Luke, that's what brought him back from the dark side.
Precisely.
So you cannot sit there and then look at him and say, oh no, you have to choose attachments lead to no, it doesn't. Hard pass.
Yep. Yep. No, I was so angry at him that he did that because it's like, dude, it was your attachment to your father that saved your father and the galaxy. Right. It's what ended the whole entire war. It was, and still he has his sister Leia, he has Han, he has Chewie. Cannot sit there and tell me that you don't have attachments, Luke. Hypocrite much. So I don't know what's going on in the comments right now. They're talking about apps and let's see. Oh, we got Oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking out. Sorry, guys. I got a party to get to in 30 minutes. So I'm trying to hang in there. But getting back to the finale. So one of the things that Brandi pointed out, I'm going to give Brandi credit for this when we were talking about the episode as we were watching it. But she pointed out how Din immediately corrected Boba when Boba was talking about the town Moss. What's the name of it? Moss Paglo, I think that was its name.
Yeah.
And then they changed the name to Freetown.
Yeah.
He immediately goes
with me.
Yeah. He immediately corrects him and says it's Freetown now. And it just, to Din's credit, just shows that he is so sensitive to people and, their culture, their decisions, their religions, all of it, and I just love that about him. So that was cool. And oh gosh, I just love that whole scene with Din and Boba. How awesome was that scene with Boba? He's basically saying, I'm going to go down, I'm going to die alongside you. This is the way. Mm-hmm. I just love their whole relationship. Like, I don't ship them, but I ship the hell out of their friendship. Like, man, those two are just, yeah.
Mando bros.
Mando bros, yeah. Did you see that meme on Facebook? Did you see? The memes are awesome from this episode. I just love it. But so yeah, that was really cool, and we also got a glimpse that even though Din's been kicked out of his covert, he's been kicked out, but he still, as Boba pointed out, he still buys into all of it. Mm-hmm. So it really kind of alludes to me. It just alludes what I think is going to happen in season 3 with Din. I think he's going to try to redeem himself in some way, to try to either get back into the covert or and I think maybe try to unite the both sides, like the Bo-Katans and the Watch.
I'm picturing him attempting to return to Mandalore to actually see what it is, because you can't rule those you don't understand. You know what I mean? You can't.
Oh yeah,
if you.
I like that.
Creed, but now that he's been introduced to Bo-Katan, he's been with Boba Fett, he gets to see the other side. They're not wrong. You know what I mean? It's just they're different. So we need to find a way to be able to come together, because, as they said, we are stronger together.
Yep. I think that just rings true to pretty much any like country being ruled or whatever. I mean, people are so everybody's just so different. We're all individuals. We all have differences, but yeah, you have to understand everyone, and everybody does have to come together. And and that's just something that I love about Din, is his ability to reach people, even if it's people that he doesn't necessarily agree with, and he some magic way gets them to do what he wants. And most of the time it has to be for the sake of Grogu, like, help me save the child or protect the child, and it's like, damn it, I'm all in. I just met you like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, he holds him up and he goes, help him.
Do it for the child. It's like, okay.
That's what we're doing. That's what happened.
Yep.
No.
But yeah, this is what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to try to redeem himself, and he's going to unite these two different, factions of Mandalorians. And then we're going to see that whole thing that Bo-Katan said in the, episode of the Heiress. Mandalorians are stronger when they stick together. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I loved following this exchange with Din and Boba, is you see them work together. Like, I love that they flew in on their jetpacks and were shooting from the air. Like, I got chills watching that.
Fighting back to back. That was a great thing. But I have to admit, I snorted when they were having that intense moment together, and then what's his face pops up from behind, like,
yes, with the head tails. Yes. Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
I can't remember it either.
But yeah, when he popped up and he's like, and I'm like, no, you are not just interrupting us.
That was a beautiful moment. He was trying to help, though.
Jar Jar Binks. That's what you are. He
is like a Jar Jar. He really is. Just a little tad less annoying. But
at least he Jar Jar was useful and wanted to be helpful. This guy is just terrible.
This guy. Although it was so hilarious when he goes out there to try to negotiate, and then when he actually reads what Boba wrote. And the look on his face.
I died.
It was so funny. And someone actually, I was on Tumblr and someone said that who would ever thought that Boba Fett was such a poet? Like he was talking about how the sands of Tatooine will once again flourish with flowers fertilized with the bodies of your dead. Like, holy crap, the guy had the pen in his hand for like a minute and he came up with that on the spot. It was pretty impressive. But yeah, the look on his face when he's like, oh crap, I'm out here and these guys got their blasters on me. This isn't good.
I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this, but I'm gonna die.
Yeah. It's so funny. Oh gosh, that was good stuff. Oh, I gotta share this because yes, we want Mara Jade. I want to see a Mara Jade.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's something I'm gonna be curious to see how that will work because of how Luke just seems to be adhering to the old way of the Jedi, which was really disappointing for me. I hope maybe that will be resolved or evolve because I would like to see Mara Jade. Thank you. Okay, so moving on. So I know the name of those big droids that have the shields on them. They're called Scorpionic droids. And I know Peely made a comment about that when they were being chased by them. But apparently these droids were designed for like previous films. I don't know if they were supposed to be in the prequels or the sequels, but they never made it on screen. So this is the first time that they were ever on screen. So now they're canon.
Am I thinking weren't they in the Clone Wars?
So yeah, they're the smaller version. I don't know if that's what they were called. Those were called something else.
Okay, I was going to say this was the first thing that came to mind when I saw that. So
yep. They're called droidicars, I believe. Droidicars are the ones in Phantom Menace, and they're smaller. Okay. But these are called Scorpionic droids. And so they were designed for previous films, and they finally made it onto this show. So I just thought that was so cool. I got it.
But he's coming through with it.
Droidica. There we go. Thank you, Dragon Buddy. So that was cool. Those things were pretty badass. But speaking of badass, I got to talk about Cad Bane. So Cad Bane is my favorite villain from Clone Wars, and I just lost my mind when I saw him at the end of last week's episode. I was just like, as soon as I saw his silhouette, as soon as I saw his hat, I said, no way. So it's like I was so excited to see him. So I felt like I got enough of him in this episode. I loved all of it. I loved his reunion with Boba. That was perfect. Mm-hmm. So I felt like I had enough of him. And when he had Boba pinned to the ground and ripped his helmet off, I was like, okay, you can die now, Cad.
Yeah.
However, having said that, I think might be, and I'm going to be really curious about what you guys in the comments think. I might be getting on the Cad Bane might not be dead train. Because if you watch the last shot of him, there's like this beeping thing, the light, and you can hear it. It's beeping. Mm-hmm. And the thing with Star Wars, they don't show us those details, for nothing, Mm-hmm. So I just think that there's a possibility he might still be alive because Cad Bane kind of reminds me of a certain character, Tiffany, and I know we don't have to say his name, but the cockroach, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So Cad Bane's like a cockroach. Like, he always seems to get away. He always seems to survive. So I just think he's going to pull a cockroach moment, and I think he's going to show up in some other series, with some other character, and I'm going to freak out all over again, and it's going to be wonderful, but...
Well, my husband thought I had watched the episode without him last week, because I knew who Cad Bane was, because my husband has not watched the animated version of the Clone Wars.
Oh, he's not seen Clone Wars?
No, he hasn't. So when I saw the wide-brimmed hat and he's walking up and I'm like, oh, Cad Bane! He's like, you watched this. I'm like, no, I didn't. I don't know who that is. And I know that a lot of people are freaking out on, the coloring and this.
Yeah.
Enjoy the fact that the dude is in the show.
I enjoyed every bit of it. I was not going to be that nitpicky about it. But I'm so glad you appreciated that because, we were robbed, and it's our own fault, but we were robbed of the reveal of Ahsoka from season 2 of The Mandalorian. I knew she was significant, but it wasn't like what I felt when I saw Cad Bane.
Yeah.
You know, so that was my Ahsoka moment when I saw Cad Bane, and for you too. Like, I was just so happy. That meme, by the way, that you tagged me in on Facebook of Jurassic Park with forget his name. What's his name? Dennis in Jurassic Park. Where he says, "Hey, look, it's Cad Bane here. It's Cad Bane here. See, nobody cares. They just want to see Grogu."
It was perfect.
It was so perfect. I laughed. I literally laughed out loud. Oh, so this is let's see here. Dragon Buddy. Thanks.
He's in the back to tank.
He's in the back to tank. So maybe. Guess we'll find out. So
Cad did tell Boba about what actually happened to the Sand People.
Yes.
The Tusken Raiders, you know what I mean?
Yes.
With him. So we know that all kinds of different creatures. I mean, look, Boba survived the Sarlacc pit, so
true. Good point.
He's got a long history with Cad, and you know, he might not have all the same internal organs. I mean, he's got the breathing going through his cheeks and stuff like that. So, you know, good pointing out with the beeping, you know, that there's a reason why it's doing that.
There's a reason.
Leave it like that for, I could see if it had like slowly died out, but the fact that it was still a steady.
It kept beeping. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. If it slowly died out, I probably wouldn't think that he survived. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you're right. So we'll have to wait and see. I think I'm not going to obsess over it for the meantime. I'm just going to think he's dead, so that if he comes back, it's going to be so awesome. So we will wait and see with that. I got to share the Dragon Buddy. You were so funny. Listen to what he said. Boba's like Oprah. You get it back to tank. You get it back to tank. You get it back. That's so awesome. Good one, Dragon Buddy.
Goodness, that's great.
So I don't want to move on actually from that last fight with Boba and Cad Bane because it was so perfect. I loved how in the end he used his gaffy stick, Boba did, on Cad Bane. It felt like such sweet poetic justice that he was able to do that, to revenge on, you know, what happened to the Tusken Raiders, even though Cad Bane wasn't responsible for it, but dang, he was rubbing it in his face. I mean, ouch, you know? So that it just felt so good, you know, that he did that.
Right. And, you know, Cad was blatantly rubbing it in his face that I trained you. I could beat you like this. Mm-hmm. Couldn't hold a stick to Bobo. So, I mean, I really like seeing him bring that and utilize that. I don't remember seeing it on his back. I don't know.
Oh, it was there. It was there. You got to go back and watch it. It's there.
I don't know if he like Harry Pottered this thing where it just magically appeared, but I was like, where did the stick come from? What happened?
It was there.
I
tell you,
watch again. Boba's
like a lot older than me, but I don't even think I could have moved like that. And just, man, that was really impressive. So, yeah, that was awesome. So let's see here. What happens next? I'm saving the best for last because we're going to talk about it for a while. Boba riding the Rancor. Yes. That was, oh my gosh. Wow. I screamed. It was so beautiful. I was like, this is what I wanted. It was so perfect. I just loved it. He just looks so badass on top of that thing.
It just reminds me of Gray in Jurassic World when he goes, "We need more teeth." And Boba just flies away. He's like, "I'll be back. We need help." And yes, that was fantastic.
It was. I just got chills when I saw that. And of course, the Rancor just completely destroyed both of those Scorpionic droids. So that was awesome. See, Dragon Buddy, what do you say? Oh, he's talking about the negativity. So there's so much negativity out there. Those people are entitled to their opinions, but it's great to find that others enjoyed all of this show. I mean, I could get into, I have like a sentence of the stuff that I didn't like. Like, for example, I thought it was kind of funny how like all the people of Mos Espa were barricading themselves, you know, like, and they're, you know, shooting their blasters, and you got the Pikes wide out in, you know, in the open, not hiding behind anything. Like, I'm just standing here. I'm going to get shot. Like, I don't know. Like, it didn't make sense to me. They seemed kind of funny. But again, that's nitpicking. Oh, the fact that they kept shooting their blasters at the Scorpionic droids, knowing that their shields aren't gonna, they're unpenetrable. That was a little annoying. I can see where if they were trying to get its attention, like Din did that a few times to try to get their attention to turn them. But when you're not trying to do that and you're just shooting at it, like that was a little annoying. The spinning, shooting, that one dude.
Buddy, I was so excited to see the Rancor just eat the one person. He's just like, he's beating stuff, he's knocking stuff down.
Yeah.
He throws the one of them, yeets him all the way across town. It was hysterical. And then he just snacks on one, and it was fantastic.
I know. You had to see him eat just one, at least. This episode gave me everything. Everything that I wanted. So, yeah, anything else to add before we get to the thing that we really loved, that everybody loved, that everybody thought wasn't going to happen, and it happened?
And I like seeing, I forget the girl's name. She's a part of the kids.
Yeah, I forget her name.
Listen, I'm telling you, if we keep falling back, I'm from just a mile down the road. I know what's coming. They're going to block us in, and we're going to be stuck. We need to stand our ground. I really liked her stepping up and trying to take the lead to try and save everybody, because I mean,
somebody had to.
Right, when we first met them, they were just a bunch of
kids, seemed like,
making trouble, doing things, even though it was for a good reason. It wasn't anything that was going to make real change. And then to see her evolve from that to, making strategy with somebody to save people, that was a really nice development for me.
I actually like that too. I appreciated that moment too, because as I said before, if somebody had to, they would have been just completely slaughtered. So Luna girl, you're so funny. Me too. Me too. Oh my gosh, I love our Grogu. So oh my gosh, the reunion. Did you think that there would be a reunion? Because Bea and Brandi were so adamant there's no way they're going to be reunited in this episode.
Well, I said, my husband and I, we agreed that we thought that he would be back, but we didn't think that they would get together like we would see Grogu trying to find him, but not like they were going to get together this episode. I didn't expect I was happy with what we got. Don't get me wrong. I was ecstatic.
Yeah.
I expected it to be a shot of Grogu coming and trying to find him as the teaser to lead up to the next
season. Same, exactly. I thought they were gonna like just leave us with that to sort of hang us on till season 3. Like this was just over the top. Again, all the awards to Favreau. Thank you, sir. Yep. You have saved me from my seasonal depression. It's winter in Wisconsin. It's cold. It gets depressing fast. So this saved me. So yeah. Force jumping into Daddy's arms, Din's voice breaking. I missed you too, buddy. The literally heart eyes mother effer that Grogu has for when he's looking at Din. How do they make an animatronic puppet do that? Like literally heart eyes in his eyes,
That's all it is. It's skills.
Major skills. Like just see the way he's looking at him. Like, I love you, Dad, so much. And then the shirt. Like Din sees that Grogu is wearing the shirt he got him. That is such a dad thing to say. You're wearing my shirt. It was just everything. I literally was sobbing. Not gonna lie, I was sobbing.
And I kind of want to see, and I know it's probably not going to happen, but I kind of want to see Din's response to Grogu being forced to choose, because Din went through so much to get him to the Jedi, for him to be then given an ultimatum. You can do it this way or you can't do it at all.
Yep. I know. That reminds me of, I'm sure you've seen them, the memes that were on Facebook where Grogu's like calling home and he's talking to Din. He's like, how's school, buddy? And then he goes, he said what? Like, I agree. I would like to have heard Din's response to Luke's ultimatum. Like, I did not just risk my life and Grogu's life to get to this moment for you to give him an ultimatum like that. So I agree. I would have liked that. But his response to seeing Grogu and seeing that he chose him, that was great. It was everything to me. Oh my gosh. My heart has soared. I ascended through the ceiling, through the house. So I'm happy. I'm just so happy. And everybody else is happy too, it seems like.
Rancor and then taking a nap next to it. My heart, it was just exploding at that point. I was, look how cute the little babies. I just wanted to cuddle them. They were adorable.
Right?
One could destroy me in just like a blink of an eye, but I would still love to cuddle them.
Same. I agree. So let's see here. One of the things that I noticed, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but does it seem that Grogu has definitely gotten stronger with the Force? Like his endurance in using it is getting better because he doesn't like keel over right away after using it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I thought that was really cool that they showed progression. You know, like he had, you know, some useful time with Luke to where he's able to build up his endurance to use the Force.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that was so cool. And the other thing that I thought was cool that shows that there's a growth in Din and Grogu's dynamic in their relationship. Din is starting to trust and rely more on Grogu, mm-hmm. which I love.
He's him as the, you know, the very innocent, needs protected, has no defense, you know, completely defenseless type person. So,
yep. So I mean, like he saw, like because when he was knocked out, when the Rancor kind of threw him and he was knocked out, he did get up and he saw Grogu there, and the Rancor was like, looked like he was just ready to tear into him, but he didn't like try to jump up. He didn't try to grab him. He knew Grogu had this, mm-hmm. you know, so he like trusted him to be able to take care of it. It was just, I really appreciated that. And I really want to see that happen more in the future. I really would love to see this father and son fighting side by side. You know, each of them has their own strengths that they will utilize to get the job done. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of excited that we might see more of that in the future, see that evolve anyway.
I was really looking forward to seeing him do a little bit of his acrobatics that he was sporting for Luke. I would have loved to see him like hop up onto the Rancor and just control him. Mm-hmm. Luke made a good point that, listen, I'm not really teaching him anything. I'm just helping him remember. Because, you know,
yep.
He's already been through a lot of this.
I know. I made a comment on Facebook and someone replied, but I went through the pain of going through the timeline and trying to figure out, okay, so how old, so Grogu's 50 years old, how much time, and maybe somebody in the comments, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Grogu like 25 or 26 around the time of Order 66? So when Order 66 happened, that was it for his training. Then he went into hiding. So he's 26 years old. So I don't know how old he was when he was first entered into the Jedi Order or the Jedi Academy, but you're still talking 20-something years, 20 years of training, which is basically like what a regular Jedi goes through in their training, right? Because they become full-fledged Jedis when they're like in their 20s or something. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of knowledge in there. I think there's a lot of knowledge that I think Luke helped unleash with him. Mm-hmm. And I agree that I really want to see him. I want to see him do the same stuff that we saw Yoda do. You know, like at the end of Revenge of the Sith and even in Clone Wars. You know, I could see him hopping up on Din's shoulder, and I thought he would still have a lightsaber, but that's not going to happen maybe. But I would just love to see him be able to do his flips and stuff. And I want to see Din's reaction when he sees his son can do all of those acrobatics. That's going to be exciting.
I would like to see that Grogu was a little klepto and kind of took that lightsaber with him. I would like to see that.
I know. I would love that. It's perfect size for him.
It
Who's Luke going to give it to? I mean, I suppose you could give it to a really young kid at first, but I don't know. He should have just given it to him.
Right. It's okay. You know what I mean?
It is.
So.
Right. Oh, I got to share this comment. It's funny. Sure it does. Allergies. Yeah. So yeah, I just have more comments here about Grogu's choice. We kind of already talked about all of this. Just this whole life has basically been in darkness and isolation, and the idea of him being separated from the one person that loved him, that cared for him. Din's time with him would be short, and I think that right now we have to recognize that Grogu's still a child, and Din recognizes him as a child. That's something that was different between the way Din saw Grogu and the way like Ahsoka and Luke saw Grogu. They looked at him with what potential he had and what he could do, but not what he was. And the fact is he is a child that needs caring for, that needs love. And I just think that it's really integral to his upbringing and stuff. He needs that foundation right now. And so I wasn't surprised by the choice, but still like overjoyed that we got to see it so quickly. I seriously thought this was going to be a season 3 thing,
that's what I was expecting. I was expecting the little teaser trailer at the end, leading it on to letting us simmer for the next 7 months until
no, it's gonna be more like 10 months and I'm gonna go crazy.
I know we have a lot of content coming, and that will be good, that'll feed us, but we're really just waiting to see them together again. So yes, they are, but what shenanigans they get up to.
Right. And that's the thing. I love how the end of the episode, you can hear the Mandalorian theme music, and we see Din and Grogu fly off into the galaxy, and just not sure where they're headed. I personally think they're headed towards Mandalore, but maybe they've got a few stops to make along the way. But yeah, I'm just...
And Grogu with the ball.
Yes, the ball. He had the ball. Yep. And he held on to it this whole time. I had everything this episode. I just can't get over it. Oh my God.
That even reminded me of the knob, and I just lost it when I saw that like it was his way of reconnecting with. He thought if Grogu forgot him, no matter how long it was going to be, like, hey, you remember this, right? This is me.
Yes.
But him coming back and getting that, and then just tapping on the thing.
That was so perfect. It was so perfect. It was like slight, and then a little bit louder, a little bit louder. And did you see that exasperated like breath he lets out? And he's like, It was so funny. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have is this episode. I just loved it from start to finish. Haters gonna hate. I don't really care. I think Robert Rodriguez did a great job directing, and I have no qualms about him coming back to direct future episodes. But yeah, I'm just so pumped for season 3, and just happy that our favorite father-son are together again. Yay! So what do we got here? Question about, what about Omega from Bad Batch?
I love her.
I love her too. I really had a inkling that we were going to see her in Boba Fett, actually, because there was like rumors there was going to be like this big character that was going to show up, and I thought, oh, that would be so cool to see Omega show up. They're going to go there, because why would they reveal that that's his sister? So I don't know if there's going to be a season 2 of Boba Fett, but that might be something to explore in the future.
They are setting up possible future option, episodes and things like that with, Fennec coming in at the very end of that episode and just going, my girl is awesome.
I know. I love her. That would probably be the biggest disappointment I have with the Boba Fett finale, is that we didn't get to see Fennec and Cad Bane face off, because their fight in Bad Batch was so awesome. Like, those two were so evenly matched. I was just like, gosh, who's better, Cad Bane or Fennec? Like, they both have met their match, and I just really would have loved to have seen that again.
Well, and I wondered where she was. Like, all of this is going down, like the very middle of all the action, and she's gone. I'm like,
well, she had to take out command. She had to take out those bad guys, which was important. You get rid of them, then the whole thing is over. So she had an important job.
That was fantastic. I just loved every minute of it.
Yep, I know, me too. And everybody else seems like they loved it too. Couldn't be happier from this show. It's a win. Um, yeah, it's just been a great ride. I gotta say, like, I did not go into this very enthusiastically. At least the first three episodes, I struggled. I don't know about you, because you know what's funny is me and Brandi, we are like as one almost all the time. And we hardly ever disagree on anything. Like her thoughts are my thoughts. But she like loved the show in the beginning, and I'm just like, oh, but I'm struggling. Like I'm having a hard time feeling a connection with Boba and everything. And sorry, it just took bringing Din back to get me to care a little bit. It's like when Din cared about Boba and his dilemma, then it's like I suddenly cared, and I feel bad saying that. But
I came into this with no expectations whatsoever. I just wanted to enjoy a new verse of Star Wars.
Same, yeah.
We were going to come up with how they, let the story evolve. And I was pleasantly surprised that I think they did a good job with it. I enjoyed all the beginning, all the backstory. Sometimes it's a little draggy for me, a little slow, but sometimes it was kind of necessary to get to who Boba is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that actually was like in the beginning when I first started watching, that was the parts that I enjoyed the most was the backstory. First of all, I wanted to know how he survived the Sarlacc pit. And then second, I wanted to know how he came about wearing the Tusken Raider robes and having the gaffy stick. Like, how did that come about? So that I loved seeing that relationship that he built with the Tusken Raiders and all of that. That was really enjoyable. But as far as like the current events, like him ruling Mos Espa, like I struggled with that because I still didn't understand, like, why do you want to be a ruler of this, this town on Tatooine? Like you could go do anything that you want, but no, then you kind of see like his motivation when he was talking to Fennec Shand, how he just doesn't want to be a bounty hunter for hire anymore and working for people that want to kill him. So it's like, okay, all right, I get it.
Yeah, makes sense.
I started to warm up to his story a little bit more. This is interesting. Dragon Buddy, you're just full of information tonight. I heard about this deleted scene. I don't know if you knew about that, Tiffany, that there was a deleted scene from Clone Wars between Boba and Cad, and it explains how Boba got that dent in his helmet.
Okay.
So,
no, I did not know.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes or how it was made, or I'm terrible with that. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I find that stuff interesting. This was the final showdown because that scene had them both get shot and survive. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I really don't have anything else to add except that let's hope that Brandi found her cat, because it's dark out now and there's nothing worse than having your fur baby outside at night, especially when it's not used to being outside. So all of you, please send all your good vibes to Brandi that her cat is back inside.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see an update here shortly. I'm hoping for it,
Yes. And, I really would love to do this again. Tiffany, I know you bowl on Friday nights. So explain to me, how does pre-bowl work exactly?
I just get to go earlier in the week and just bowl by myself and go back and forth. It only takes about a half hour, but they record the games just like it would be if you were bowling on Friday night. So.
Okay. So if we wanted to try to do this again next week, like same time, like 6 o'clock, and we normally do it 6.
Early enough so that I can pre-bowl by Wednesday. So.
Okay. Well, let's plan on having you back next week because it's so much fun when the three of us talk, and we just don't get to see each other face to face that often.
I know.
Ever.
We're always going in so many different directions. It's nice to be able to get to touch base, and we do, message during the day, but sometimes being able to just chat up and touch base, face to face, get that interaction together.
Exactly. So let's plan on that for next week. And so we'll be covering. So we're still getting our way through season 2 of The Mandalorian. We're going to finish that, and then when that's done, then we're going to get into the sequels. So I hope you guys will join us next week. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a great weekend, everybody. And as always, may the Force be with you.
Bye, guys.